welcome back to the channel. Welcome to this week's video, which is an apartment tour. No room tour because I'm not at uni. I have a full apartment to myself. This is on my year abroad in France, in Forcalquier. You can check out my other videos from my year abroad in the description, in the card. I'm not sure, but my apartment is just up there, 3rd floor, and I hope you enjoy this tour. Unfortunately, I'm not very good at B-roll, so I've just stood behind the camera as I talk you through my apartment. But if you enjoy it, give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions about the apartment or moving in or anything like that, do put a comment below. I do discuss how I found it and some little quirks about it. So again, if you have any queries about those, do ask me about them, and subscribe for more year abroad videos. Enjoy. And here we go. This is the entranceway. I'm just gonna shut the door. So as you walk in, we have a nice chest of drawers here, a very weird wavy mirror, and I've just got some cycling and general stuff in there, shopping bags on top, shoe storage right out in the open, and in the cupboard we have various things. When it gets hot, when it gets cold, I mean, I will stick the duvet on the bed. Currently, I've just got some sheets. That's one of my boxes that I brought from the UK. Cleaning equipment. Oh, there's an apron. I should start using that. Clothes hangers if I want them. I'm not using them, but maybe I should start. As you'll see, I've just got stuff hanging around randomly, like here, my suit. So we're going to go into the kitchen now. Although you can't really go into it, it's just there. We have a toaster, the smallest kettle I have ever seen in my life, a microwave, some utensils, some of which I brought myself, some pans, the green one I brought myself, and under here, because I don't use it, a coffee machine. As bins, I'm using my bathroom bin as a food bin because it's got a lid on it, so it stops flies getting too excited. That horrible looking thing is actually not a bad thing. I made it with apples. It's essentially like a brownie that I made in the microwave because I have no oven. But I do have a fridge and a washing machine under my washing up, which is slightly annoying because when I want to wash when I want to wash my clothes, I have to move my washing up. But it's good. I have 2 hot plates, a small amount of storage, and a slightly larger amount of storage in this weird cupboard in the wall. So cutlery, plates, glasses, and cereal and the rest of things up there. From here, we are going to go into the bathroom. Cupboard, mirror, sink, toilet. That's a washing clothes that need to go to wash basket. I don't use it. I don't know why. When I first looked in, it scared me a bit, so I don't use it. Bath with shower, and yeah, the Hoover vacuum cleaner is in here. It's not very good. I'll tell you about that later. But that's just where I've decided to keep it because there's no plug in the cleaning cupboard over there. So to charge it, it needs to be somewhere with a plug. My bike is just in here. Bit of a pain to get it up the stairs, but oh well. And down here, apparently we have some socks. But there are some French books more over there that were here. Board games that were also here when I moved in. And some DVDs. I don't think there's a DVD player, which is a bit weird. So I'm not sure how useful they are or they're going to be. But there we go. The table, which I use for work, for eating, and for storing things, including my recycling over there. The bins are just down there, but there's no recycling, so I need to go a bit further to do that, which is slightly annoying. This is my living area, although it's all in one, obviously. And that sofa is very comfortable and turns into a sofa bed. I haven't tried it yet, but I've got a friend coming soon, so I will do. I'm a big fan of these. It's a coffee table type thing that opens out to give you more space. Inside there's storage, chest of drawers over there, with a properly late 2000s MP3/CD player with speakers built in. Think it's technically a radio as well, but I'm not sure. Up here we have the bed. It's definitely not made. Now, when this apartment was described to me, I was told there was a mezzanine. I think that's a bit rich for something like this, but here we go. A bit more storage there. That's just underwear and socks in there. Basically all the drawers down there, and in this compartment behind my washing is clothes. A little desk here with a fan. This is just storage. It's too small really to be used as a desk, I think. Here we have a TV, which if I had an HDMI cable, I might plug my computer in when I was watching stuff, but I don't have an HDMI cable. I'm not sure I can be bothered to buy one. I might try and see if I can grab one from work if it's not being used. And out here is my second window. It's quite a nice view. Right at the top there, you can see the Citadel, which I am yet to go to, which is quite embarrassing. So yeah, it was very heavily raining earlier on today, but the shop owners are putting their things out on display again. It's a really lovely little street. This is probably the original main one. You can see down there, nice little flags. Lots of the restaurants are down that way, but it's really lovely. And I think that is it. Yeah, let me explain to you now how I got hold of this apartment and some of the quirky things about it. Suitcase is there. Yeah, I think that is actually it. My books that I brought with me. Okay, so how did I get hold of this apartment? Now, if you've watched my previous year abroad videos, you may know that I really struggled to find accommodation in Forcalquier. Initially, I was relying on the company that I'm working for to try and find me something on the ground, view it for me and tell me all about it. But at the end of the day, I had to sort of manage by myself. So I went onto a local Facebook group called Vivre à Forcalquier, and I asked people whether they had a spare room or an apartment that they could rent me for not too much money, for the period I wanted it, in the centre. Now, 7 or 8 people replied to me. I had to discard 5 of them because they were not in Forcalquier. They were far too far away. I haven't got a car, obviously. And at the end, Nicole, who is the lady who I was staying with for 2 weeks to begin with, and another lady messaged me to say they might have something that interested me. So Nicole was offering me her room, and I said, that's fantastic. Let me see about this other lady who had this apartment. But this apartment wasn't available until the start of September because it's an Airbnb and she had guests booked up until the start of September. So I stayed with Nicole for 2 weeks and then I moved in here. So that was it basically. I just looked on the local Facebook group and it just shows how useful they can be, because if it hadn't been for that, I would not have accommodation right now. So I'm really glad I managed it. And I'm not actually renting this apartment through Airbnb. We have a private contract because obviously it costs a lot less to do that. And it's a lot easier for the owner to do that as well, because renting long-term through Airbnb is apparently quite complicated. So that's all good. Let me now tell you about the quirks in this apartment. Okay, so I'm now going to give you a few quirky little things about this apartment. You might have seen it in the video. The artwork in here is bizarre as all hell. Some of it's quite nice, some of it's quite bad, and some of it I could probably do myself. So you get the idea. It's the sort of typical Airbnb artwork that you might get. It puts stuff on the walls, I guess. It's okay, you know. I don't really notice it, so it's fine. This apartment only has tiny, tiny glasses. This horrible old French football McDonald's Coca-Cola thing is the biggest glass there is, and it's small. I'm used to drinking gallons out of pint glasses, so I'm filling this up every 30 seconds. The hot plates in the kitchen, or at least one of them, is so not powerful. And it's the one that is closest to you when you're standing in the kitchen. So I was using that hot plate for the first week I was here. When I finally realised I needed to cook 2 things at once, I put something on the back hot plate. Woof! So much more powerful. Instead of taking 15 minutes to boil a pan of water, 5 minutes. So, you know, much, much better. The kettle, as you've seen, is tiny. Takes forever to boil water. The vacuum cleaner, as you can see, it's like a long thing, but you can also detach the actual vacuum bit to make a little one that you can go around and up in corners and things. And it only works in that small state. So if it's all put together in its big state, it doesn't work. It doesn't suck from the bottom. But you can't charge it unless it's in its complete state. So I have to charge it in its complete state, then unplug it, take the little bit out, and go around with the little thing. So what I've done now is I've started taking the broom, mopping up all the rubbish on the floor, and then going in afterwards with the little version of the vacuum cleaner. Don't know if that makes sense, but it's really annoying. The light under the mezzanine, don't know if you can see it, is the most temperamental thing ever. I go on video calls with my friends under there, and I'll have it switched on in the evening, and after 30 seconds it will just cut out. And then you'll switch it off, switch it on again, 30 seconds, it will cut out. Bit weird, bit annoying. The windows have no shutters and are a lot smaller, which is in complete contrast to the other floors in this building. I'm on the 3rd floor at the top, and the 2nd and the 1st floor have shutters and have windows that are probably 2 to 3 times the size, which is slightly annoying. This took me genuinely about 2.5 minutes to figure out, which is not normal, I don't think. The flush on the toilet looks like a button, but you actually have to pull up to flush. Bizarre. Bizarre, bizarre, bizarre. It's not really quirky, but there are a vast amount of stairs. As you may have seen in a previous video, loads of stairs. Quite annoying, but at the end of the day, it's manageable. The worst thing is trying to get my bike down them. Getting it up is actually fine, weirdly. And I have 2 fridges. You won't have seen 2 fridges, but on the landing outside my front door, I have a 2nd fridge. Now, the reason I have a 2nd fridge is because the owner of the apartment said that the fridge in the kitchen, the freezer section of it, will only freeze ice cubes. It's so small that it'll only do ice cubes. So she just plugged a whole other one in for me to have a freezer, which is good actually, because I got my frozen berries, a bit of ice cream, and some frozen peas in there. So that's good. And I do believe that is all the quirky things about this apartment. Other than the DVD player that doesn't exist, even though there are DVDs, which I've already mentioned. So yeah, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Comment if you have any questions about the setup I have here. And subscribe if you haven't already for more Year Abroad videos. Stay tuned.